Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we are back on World of Warships Legends. Today we are going to be talking about the USS West Virginia Battleship 48. A little bit of history before we get into the main sort of video with the West Virginia 44, which has been released as a rental ship. So right now in the store, in case you guys are wondering, you can get this ship in the store here. It's not there for me because I already have it. Here's the West Virginia at tier 5. This is the same exact ship at tier 6 that we just got. West Virginia before she got her refit. And then here is the West Virginia 44 after she got her refit. So let's go back over to the West Virginia for a second, because we are going to talk about the sort of beginning of her history as far as I know. So, the West Virginia was one of the ships at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese attacked. The Japanese sunk the USS West Virginia, along with the Arizona, Oklahoma, some other ships, along with, plenty of other ships that were damaged as well. West Virginia was actually one of the ships that was recovered. They managed to raise her up and get her refitted, rearmed, and sent out there to carry on the war. Now, one thing to note, during the attack on the USS West Virginia and during the attack on Pearl Harbor as a whole, there was actually some pretty cool stuff that was actually happening aboard the West Virginia. There was actually a man that was aboard the West Virginia. The cook, the ship's cook, was actually aboard. And he was very, very brave, that's for sure, because he's only a cook. He wasn't trained to use any of the guns on the ship. But he managed to jump up and head on over to one of the anti-aircraft guns. And he shot down at least 2 to 4, maybe more planes. Keep in mind that this man had never used one of the weapons on board the USS West Virginia, and while the ship was being attacked, while it was being bombed, while it was being torpedoed, by the way, she took 7 torpedoes and a bunch of other bombs, he shot down a few planes, and his name was Doris Miller. This guy was the first African American to receive the Naval Cross, which, in case you guys don't know what the Naval Cross is, or the Navy Cross, it is basically the naval equivalent of the Medal of Honor. So to receive this award is absolutely insane, especially for just a ship cook. It's absurd. And I don't think a lot of the content creators for this game have actually talked about the history of this ship, because it is one of the most amazing stories out there in naval history, and obviously U.S. naval history as well. So the West Virginia sunk, right? We know this this ship sunk and it went to the bottom, but it was brought back up, and they repaired it, and they refitted it, and in 1944, the USS West Virginia led the final battle line between a battleship-on-battleship engagement. The USS West Virginia, with her new radars, her new fire directors and everything, her new beautiful refit, she led a battle line of multiple U.S. battleships against other Japanese battleships, and they managed to destroy the enemy in the name of freedom and democracy, baby. And yeah, it's pretty cool that the ship was sunk. Okay, I mean, it's just an amazing feat of American engineering that we managed to take a lot of our sunk ships, bring them back up, repair them, refit them with the most modern shit you can think of, and send them back out there to absolutely decimate the Japanese Empire. It's one of the most amazing stories, and I do recommend watching a video. If you guys want more in-depth, history about the USS West Virginia, I am going to link a video in the description by the history guy. He is one of my favorite history YouTubers out there. He makes awesome content, and I recommend you guys watch him for any sort of naval history as well. He has a really good way of telling the story about the USS West Virginia, more than I can. Okay, so anyway, with that out of the way, that's the history of the West Virginia in my words, as best as I can put it. Again, I'm not a historian or anything, but it's amazing that this ship was just, it's amazing to me that this ship was coming under attack. We had multiple sailors on board who did some heroic shit, got medals of honor, basically. And then this ship was brought back up from the dead. It was rearmed, refitted, and sent back out there to carry on the war and absolutely crush Japanese imperialism. It was amazing. It's an amazing story. And yeah. So anyway, on to the gameplay. Alright, so here we are in the gameplay with the Tier 6 American Premium West Virginia 44. Now, in real life, the West Virginia 44 was one of the most amazing, legendary battleships the world has ever seen. She, in case you guys didn't know, something I left out of the history, something I felt that I should leave for the gameplay, is the fact that the West Virginia, when it was actually refitted and rearmed, the West Virginia was the most modern ship in the United States Navy, and one of the most modern, if not the most modern, battleships in the world. I know, crazy, but I'm not kidding. This ship was more modern than the Iowas when they came out. When the Iowa was completed and built and commissioned, the West Virginia was still more modern than the Iowa at the time of her commissioning. The West Virginia possessed multiple fire directors and radar-guided bullshit. I mean, this ship was insanely accurate. It has some records for hitting shots at super stupid far range, accurate shots. And it's something that a lot of the people don't ever usually talk about when they're playing the game. I get it, it's a game, but it should have some very good accuracy. I don't care what anybody says. All those radars and you know, it should have some sort of buff to your freaking, to your accuracy. Okay, so in the game, this ship is kind of mediocre, and I'm not a fan of it. I probably will not be getting this ship unless they buff it, because it seems very inconsistent, for me anyway. I don't seem to understand why. This ship should have really good accuracy, because of the fact that, look at all the radars, look at all the fire directors, radar-guided shells. I mean, this is some insane stuff on this ship, and yet it does not reflect at all in-game. And I think that's sad, because this ship should have a lot more potential at Tier 6. I think it should be a lot stronger. And that's not even my American bias kicking in to say that. I think that this ship should be a lot more accurate. I mean, look at that. What the fuck is that dispersion? Please someone explain to me. Oh yeah, it's RNG. RNG giveth, RNG taketh. Well, I hate it. I hate it. It's so bad, especially with this ship. So inconsistent. And I thought the North Cal was Bro, you don't even understand. So, again, there's some good accuracy, but it's far in between. Like, I shoot a lot of shots and I get meh accuracy. And then sometimes I get decent shots like that, but it's far in between. So, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this ship. Now, some things I want to talk about, since obviously it's the refitted version of the West Virginia. The West Virginia has some very good AA. Very good AA. Unfortunately, I'm in a Tier 7 carrier game, so it really doesn't matter much that the ship has really good AA, because carriers, if they want you, they're going to get you. It doesn't matter how good your AA is, okay? I'm going to shoot down some planes in this game, but it's not going to be enough to really make the carrier squirm and, you know, yeah. So as you guys can see, I am getting shot by a lot of people, but I'm not too worried because I am running that one commander, Hoshino. She gives a lot of heals. I have 6 heals. As long as I can turn away and, you know, use my damage cons correctly, I can survive a long time. As long as I don't take mega damage, right? So Hoshino is kind of a good commander to run on the West Virginia, and I will show you guys the build at the end of the video, the exact build I run for her. But I'm kind of running a little bit of reload and all that stuff. So I have a lot of consumables, which is very nice. Another thing I want to mention about the West Virginia 44 is the fact that she has very good torpedo protection because of the mega big torpedo blisters that the U.S. put on this ship after it got sunk and brought up at Pearl Harbor. So it reflects in-game in that regard. The ship has very good torpedo damage reduction, which is good. Very good, just like the California. And you guys got to keep in mind that the United States Navy did this to all of its battleships that were at Pearl Harbor. Pretty much every single one of them that was brought back, they gave the same exact treatment that the West Virginia, the Tennessee, and the California and all these ships got. They got all the good stuff. They got all the good cookies, basically. So, yeah, as you guys can see, we only shot down 6 planes so far. And again, I feel robbed. And also, it's the Chaklov. Everybody loves the Chaklov. Everybody loves the fun police overall, don't we? But again, we're shooting off salvo after salvo, but we're not getting any crazy results. Like, I would rather be in a North Carolina any day. Any day. North Carolina is just better. Why would I play this ship over North Carolina? I don't know. I wouldn't, you know. But it is fun. It is a premium, and you can still have good games in it. It's still a battleship. It's still, if you get really good RNG, you can still pull off some good stuff with this ship. But unfortunately, it's, again, like I said earlier, the shots that you take, they're far in between. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're shit, and it's unfortunate. But it is what it is, right? It's a game, and it's World of Warships Legends, so stuff is going to be weird, and unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it, except just, you know, hope that, you know, just hope, I guess. There's really nothing else to say. Hope and, you know, move on, I guess. So, yeah. But here's some pretty funny stuff that happens. Watch this. Bonk, we get a Citadel right through his stern. Again, I was not expecting that at all. We got a plunging fire Citadel, which is hilarious, on a Tier 7 light cruiser, Cleveland, which is, again, hilarious. At what, 18 kilometers? No, sorry, 16 kilometers. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. So there's some funny, wonky RNG stuff happening right there for sure. But he's about to die to my hands, and down he goes. That's our first kill of the game, with 69 giggity thousand damage. So, yeah. Anyway, if you guys have made it this far into the video, go down there and hit the like button and hit the sub button. Yeah, we're halfway through, so I thought I'd just stick that in there, right? I don't usually ask very much, but, you know, sometimes I do. I do appreciate it. The support's always greatly appreciated. So, anyway, not much else left to do now. We're just kind of sailing around, hoping we get some things spotted. And we have a carrier spotted, so I'm turning my guns that way. My front guns. And I'm going to take a shot with my front guns. And hopefully do some things to that Chaklov. And those look extremely accurate. Those look really good. Very good. That should be a really good hit there. And they all land short. What? Like, huh? Huh. Yep. Yeah. This ship is so inconsistent. Like most of my battleships, so... Oh well. And I don't know what that accuracy was. At 5.5 kilometers. I feel robbed. So... But really, again, like I said, nothing we can do about it. We can only hope that shit gets better. So... Anyway, New Jersey's getting absolutely pounded by me, by my teammates, and basically my whole team. He's not having fun. We get all of our guns off, and somehow we only hit 4 out of the 8 shells at point-blank range. Are you fisting me right now? Wow. Yep, checks out. Oh yeah, secondary hits. I forgot, this thing has technically tiny bit better secondaries, but don't build for it. Don't let that fool you. The secondaries are not good enough, like on Massachusetts or other ships, to warrant a full secondary build. Don't do it. It only has 8 secondaries per side. Okay, they're just 127mm 5-inch guns. It's not worth building for secondaries. Just go for fucking guns and reload and stuff like that, okay? You're gonna, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a free world, so, you know. If you guys want to do secondary build, all power to you, but I don't think you're getting the most value out of your ship if you're making a secondary build, West Virginia 44. So, anyway, more planes coming in. Well, actually, he's kind of turning around. He's doing some weird stuff, but he's going to turn back because he's seeing that I'm turning out, and he's like, ooh, a ship. I don't care about its AA. I'm just going to get free damage because carriers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good your AA is. Carriers are still going to do damage and fuck you up. It just doesn't fucking matter. We love that. Even with my DFAA, I'm doing basically nothing to his planes, it feels like. I love that. I really do. So, unfortunately, nothing really we can do. Now, we've been behind on caps like the whole game. But somehow we're still ahead. I think it's because we've killed more ships. Now we're behind because the enemy just took out one of our ships, but... This is looking pretty close. It's not every day that you have a close game. That's kind of why I wanted to show you guys this match, because it was a pretty interesting close match. Again, it wasn't a special game in terms of damage. No big booms or anything really going on in this game, but I thought it was an interesting game to show off, just because it's not a one-sided blowout. But more planes coming in. We're getting shot by the destroyer in a smoke screen, and we're having lots of fun, obviously. And we still got 3 heals left. We're just, again, we're trying to be conservative with our damage control. And we should be okay for the most part. As long as we don't do anything drastic here and, you know, throw our ship away, we should be fine and we should win this game. We're getting into the cap with, along with this I'm the West Virginia. We're getting into the cap along with this Massachusetts. So that's good. We're going to hopefully flip this cap and maybe start getting some serious pointage here. Now, one thing I didn't mention yet is the fact that we're bottom tier. So, I think you guys mostly have figured that out by now, but yeah, we're bottom tier. If you're top tier in the West Virginia, you can probably have a lot better games. Like, I watched Tommy Boy 601's video the other day. He was playing the West Virginia, and he was top tier, and he was smacking some bitches around. Like, I was like, damn, I wish I could get top tier. But even when I get top tier, it seems like my shots are so in between. It's like, it just doesn't matter. But, it's definitely nicer to be top tier. If you can get the perfect matchmaking and the perfect RNG, you can potentially do some good stuff with this thing. For sure. Like, you could probably have 200-300K games if you have the perfect scenarios lined up for you, but it usually doesn't happen. It's usually very far in between stuff like that happens. But, yeah. We're about to get this cap, though, in 5 seconds. We got a cruiser in here. We got this Massachusetts, and we're just capping away. And just like that, we now have a 2-cap advantage. We're going to start gaining some serious pointage, and we should hopefully win the game shortly. There's only 2 minutes left. Not really much else left to do. So, yeah. Let me know in the comments below, though, what you guys think of the West Virginia 44. It's right now for renting, so it's not officially out fully yet. You can rent it for 1,000 doubloons for 7 days. And then Wargaming promptly takes it away from you until they add it into the game permanently, and then you can actually buy it back for its full price. Another thing I haven't mentioned is that you do get a coupon when you buy the West Virginia 44 rental. 1,000 discount coupon, which really isn't much. So there's that. But other than that, so far I'm not very impressed with the West Virginia 44 personally. I think it should be a lot better, in my opinion. I think it should have some serious accuracy. Like, I'm talking some really good accuracy, like battlecruiser accuracy, because of the fact that this thing had some of the most accurate shells in the world. It had all the fire directors. Like, it had all the radars and everything. And yet, in-game, it's just meh. You know what I mean? So... But hey, not bad for being a tier 6 and a tier 7 game. We've used 5 of our heals, by the way. That's crazy. We've used 5 out of the 6 heals. That's how much damage we have been taking this game. We've been taking a battering this game. And I think we're going to definitely... We must get a freaking Dreadnought medal, right? We have to be getting a Dreadnought medal this game. The amount of damage that we've taken, if someone could do the math, that'd be funny. But... holy smokes. We've had to at least take in, like, 130,000, 140,000 damage this game. Like, the amount of heals we had to pop and stuff, maybe a little less than that, but still, pretty impressive. We're still alive. And, yeah, it's kind of hard to Citadel the West Virginia 44, just like the California, because of all the fat torpedo blisters this thing has, and all the armor. The all-or-nothing armor scheme makes it kind of hard to Citadel these things. So they're pretty well protected in that regard. But other than that, a lot of shells are just going to hit your superstructure. And HE is a real big problem with this thing. You will burn alive, and you will take penetrations like nobody's business because you just got so much superstructure. So you got to be careful there. But if you can manage to, again, place yourself well and do things and whatnot, you know, Dreadnought Shuffle, all that jazz, you should be fine. But anyway, game's about to end. 5 seconds left, and we are dunzo bunzo, just kind of talking until the time passes. And there we go. We got a Dreadnought medal. There it is, the Dreadnought medal. Battle ended. Let's see what we managed to do here. So, 78,000 damage, and we were second. We were second in a Tier 7 lobby in the West Virginia. I think that's definitely skill related there. Like, that's pretty insane. So anyway, yeah. Let's go and take a look, though, at my ship build real quick for you guys. So I'm running AA Guns Mod 2. I'm running steering gears. You guys could put on other modules as well. And we're running concealment as well. Again, why would you not run concealment? For our commander, we're running Hashino. We got John Fisher as inspirations, along with Paulo de Revel. We've got Flammable Cannoneer, Dance with Death. On second thought, Master Mechanic with the big ol' heels and fully packed. She's a Legendary 3, rank 16 captain. And nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to go and do it for today's video. That is the West Virginia 44 rental. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Not very good, but not very bad either. So, anyway, see yas.